If your blood sugar feels like a roller coaster, the problem isn't you. It's the way modern food disrupts God's design. Well, today I'm going to show you the foods and the rhythms that restore steady blood sugar and steady energy. Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com. Well, today's topic is one of my favorites because it touches every part of your health: energy, cravings, weight, inflammation, hormones, sleep, mood, brain function, everything. We're talking blood sugar. Because when blood sugar is steady, you feel steady. And when it's unstable, everything becomes a roller coaster. Well, today's topic is answering questions submitted by all of you through our private Facebook group, Biblical Nutrition Academy. Now, and stay tuned to the end because I'm going to be giving away a free product. I'm going to be giving away the free Kids Happy Juice. This is a plant-based, kid-friendly, it's a blend of herbs and adaptogens, including saffron, to help maintain focus and support mood. Now, I love all of the Kids Amari products, and because they really help kids to be kids again. They get to love life, they get to focus and be able to think without all the clutter. Well, today's winner left a review of my Healthy Treasures cookbook on Amazon. So let's talk about blood sugar. Question number 1 asks, are all vegetables low glycemic? Because I spike from potatoes. All vegetables are low glycemic except the starchy ones. And when I say vegetables are low glycemic, I'm talking about leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, peppers, zucchini, asparagus, mushrooms, cucumbers, onions, garlic, green beans, herbs. You know what I'm talking about. Even tomatoes, eggplant. These are all naturally low carb, fiber rich, which is so important, but slow release glucose. Now, starchy vegetables, this is a different category. It's a very important, healthy category because of the short chain fatty acids, but it is a different category. So, this includes potatoes, sweet potatoes, butternut squash, acorn squash, parsnips, beets. These act more like a slow carbohydrate, but not a leafy vegetable. So here's where your experience comes in. Different potatoes have a different glycemic impact. White Idaho potatoes, I never buy those. They're the fastest glucose release. Russets are still quick. Yukon Gold is gentler. Purple's most is the best. It has even more antioxidants. Then we go to sweet potatoes. Steadier, especially when cooled or air fried. Butternut squash, low and slow glucose release. So you're not imagining it. A white Idaho potato hits your bloodstream fast and much faster than broccoli, of course. So here's how I reconcile it. Non-starchy vegetables, low glycemic, starchy vegetables, still from God, still good, just higher impact. So we don't fear them. We can actually respect them. So while some people spike more, blood sugar response is deeply personal. So two people can eat the same potato and have very different responses. So here's why. There's very many reasons this is happening. First is the gut microbiome differences, digestive enzyme strength, muscle mass, insulin sensitivity, meal composition, the timing of your meals, your stress level, your sleep patterns, and then also the patterns of your meals. And Mike, don't miss this part. Potatoes are not the enemy. The order in which you eat them really does matter. So if you eat them first, they hit fast. If you eat them after fiber and protein, the glucose release is much slower. Now, this leads right into my signature strategy. So here we go. Fiber first, my number one blood sugar tool. This is the framework I teach everywhere because it works like a miracle. Start every meal with 2 to 3 bites of fiber plus protein. Fiber slows glucose release. It feeds the microbiome, coats the intestines so sugar absorbs slower. It lowers insulin response, helps you stay satisfied longer. And then when we add protein to those first 2 bites, stabilizes blood sugar, slows digestion, balances hunger hormones, and together they turn your meal into a slow burning fuel. The fiber and fuel in these type starches becomes short chain fatty acids. Now, these nutrients are paramount for mental wellness and microbiome health. So we don't want to ignore them. We just want to understand them. And here's a fun visual that I tell my clients. Fiber is like putting a screen door in front of glucose. It filters it, it slows it down, and it keeps it from flooding your system. Most people aim for 25 to 35 grams of fiber. but the body thrives when we increase that to 50 or more grams. Now, we kind of have to adjust it as we go. More fiber, more stability. And yes, you may feel initially bloated or gassy when increasing fiber, but that's normal. It's your microbiome waking up. Say, whoa, what's going on? But it will adjust and you will feel amazing. Adding digestive enzymes with each meal will help your body to adapt to this new food. Now, the next is the 20-ounce vegetable rule. 20 ounces of real vegetables every day, not counting your starch. So, why 20 ounces? Because that amount ensures enough fiber, enough volume, ensures micronutrients. It keeps cravings low, blood sugar steady, and it feeds the beneficial gut bacteria. And it also displaces junk food naturally. And remember this, vegetables equals God's medicine chest. Multicolored, multi-textured, multi-beneficial. And another fun foodie tip is if you roast just a giant tray of veggies at the start of the week, use some olive oil and some salt, pepper, garlic, and maybe some smoked paprika. And sometimes I use chili powder. They taste like candy when they're roasted, but they stabilize blood sugar beautifully. Now, what about meal timing? The 4-hour rhythm is what I like to teach. One of the reasons blood sugar crashes happen is because people are grazing all day long. It is taught in many places. But when you eat a balanced meal, then stop. Let insulin come down, wait 4 hours, and then eat again. Your blood sugar always stays steady this way. Your hormones stay steady. Your hunger resets and your fullness signals return. This is how the body was designed for you to eat. Meal, pause, meal, pause. Now, another fun foodie tip. If you feel like snacking, drink half a glass of water and take a short walk. And if you're still hungry 10 minutes later, you probably didn't eat enough protein at the last meal. Protein, enzymes, and metabolizing food better, that's where we need to go next. So protein is a blood sugar anchor. It stabilizes, it nourishes, it slows things down. But many people forget digestive enzymes. Taking enzymes with meals improves the absorption of the nutrients, reduces bloating, helps break down starches, it helps break down proteins, and it helps the glucose to release slower. The better we metabolize food, the sooner the body responds, and the lower the glucose release. This is so overlooked. Metabolism isn't just about the foods we eat, it's about the ability to process them. Now, I'm going to put a link down below for the best digestive enzymes that we personally take. Now, let's look at best foods for blood sugar. There are top veggies for blood sugar, and they include Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower. You recognize those as cruciferous, yes. Asparagus, zucchini, mushrooms, spinach, kale, cabbage, another cruciferous, green beans. And then we have our top starchy vegetables. Remember, we need them for short chain fatty acids. Sweet potatoes, look for purple, it's the new favorite. Purple potatoes, Yukon Gold, always avoid the Idaho. Butternut squash, acorn squash. And then our best proteins, eggs, wild caught fish, chicken, turkey, grass-fed beef, 100% grass-fed beef, beans and lentils. They're a superpower for your gut. Healthy fat anchors are avocados, olive oil, nuts and seeds, tahini, almond butter. Now, blood sugar superfoods. Vinegar. 1 tablespoon in water about 20 minutes before you eat helps with a huge glucose impact. Cinnamon, chia seeds, flax seeds, berries, leafy greens, apple cider vinegar is another huge benefit. Fermented foods, you only need 2 tablespoons per day. So let's do another fun foodie tips. Air fried sweet potatoes, fried in olive oil, salt, smoked paprika. Tastes like comfort food and it behaves like a health food. You need to avoid sugar crashes and maintain steady energy. Crystal asked this to avoid sugar crashes, fiber first, protein at the start of every meal, 20 ounces of veggies total for the day, avoid grazing, 4-hour meal windows, drink water, move for 10 minutes after meals, prioritize sleep, add vinegar before starchy meals, don't eat carbs alone, stop the glucose spikes before they start. Blood sugar stability isn't about perfection, it's about patterns. Your body loves rhythm. It loves predictability. Your pancreas responds with enzymes to the patterns of your previous eating. It loves God-designed foods. Now, another key tool that you can use is the Hunger Satisfied Journal. This helps us to plan ahead. The Hunger Satisfied Journal helps you to learn your body, observe patterns, and see which foods are giving you a spike. Discover which foods stabilize you. Take emotion out of eating. Remove the guesswork. And for anyone who doesn't have this yet, you totally want to check this out. Planning 24 hours ahead is powerful. When you plan just 24 hours, not for the whole week, you decide your food, you commit to your food, you remove on the spot decision making, and you start learning what your body can metabolize well. Now, then the journal becomes a conversation with your body, and you begin to see healing unfold. And so here's what I always say: healing happens sooner with less effort with this journal. And this journal can save you thousands in medical tests. So, another fun foodie tip is to make this sustainable. Let's keep it fun because healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. Again, roast some vegetables until they caramelize, sweet and crispy and amazing. Try purple sweet potatoes. I so want you to do that and put a link, show me a picture of it down below. They're beautiful and they're low glycemic. And herbs, add them aggressively: basil, cilantro, rosemary, thyme, dill. Use lemon on everything. It lowers glycemic impact. Try a veggie hummus starter plate before dinner. It actually works. Slice cucumbers, dip in hummus while cooking. Fiber first, add some protein, a fun snack. Add cinnamon to your apples or your oatmeal so your blood sugar will thank you. God didn't give us bland food. He gave us flavor, color, textures, aromas, and joy. Now, let's bring this down to a takeaway. Blood sugar balance is not about fear, it's about wisdom. It's about partnering with how God designed your body. Fiber first, protein, volume of vegetables, meal timing, movement, real food, peace with your food, learning your patterns. That is how we stabilize blood sugar. And this is the path to steady glucose and a steady life. Now, for today's winner, remember today's winner is getting our kids' Happy Juice pack. And yes, adults can actually get a mental blessing of this as well. I wish I could give every kid I know the kids' Amari products because they would all see life so much better and have the mental focus to just thrive. And it doesn't matter what age. Well, today's winner is James Maxwell. You are today's winner. Thanks for leaving a review on Amazon of my book, Healthy Treasures Cookbook. Please email us at admin@thebiblicalnutritionist.com. Put in the subject line winner 159, and we will ship this out to you right away. If this video brought you clarity and encouragement, please share it with 3 of your friends and then hit like and subscribe so that we can join together as the Biblical Nutritionist family. And if you want to go deeper into learning your body through real foods and biblical principles, you're going to love the Hunger Satisfied Journal. It's a powerful tool for healing your relationship with food and understanding your own glucose story. And if this isn't enough, go to Biblical Nutrition Academy, where we have all of our biblical wellness courses, including the Bible diet. You definitely want to check that out. If you haven't already checked out my book, Satisfied: Baking with Whole Grain Goodness, this is a book that is definitely a perfect gift for anyone who's getting started freshly milling grain. And it includes not only some of the teaching in the beginning about the value of real grain and how God created it, but it has some of my very favorite recipes for holidays, for every day. So many delicious recipes that I know your family's going to love. So yes, it does have the basic bread recipe, but it has many more recipes so you can extend your idea of baking with a lot of good recipes. Please check out Satisfied: Baking with Whole Grain Goodness.